I'm Chief USS Victor Pinion, U.S. Navy retired, telling some stories of my naval career. I've told already a bunch of stories about creating and establishing some maintenance supporting infrastructure programs such as tool control, supply, technical publications library, getting blueprints, reader printer, and the quality assurance program, and on and on and on. A lot of those things. Well, this one I'm going to expound on the divisional supply setup. I personally wrote it up. Well, one of the first things I noticed after reporting aboard the Midway CV41 in 1977, although we had a void as our supply room, we did not have a full-time supply crew. We had one man who was on temporary duty from the catapult crew to run supply chits every day. And that was about it. Now that supply room was just an unorganized void, rusty water on the deck, old parts that had been removed, thrown in there, and helter-skelter. I had determined that we needed to do a well-organized and staffed supply setup for the division. So I wrote it up of what we needed myself. I wrote it up. I tried to get the other people involved in helping me write it up, but almost, well, AB1 Mark Merklis helped quite a bit, although I personally did the writing, but he provided a lot of ideas. And Lieutenant Hank Davison, who was the division officer, was very helpful there. Good attitude. Just very helpful in setting up the supply setup for the division. We cleared out all that old stuff out of the void, the supply room. We bought a whole bunch of bins, brand new bins, different sizes and shapes for the different kinds of parts that we wanted to carry. We established a stocking, what we wanted to stock in that supply room with pre-expended bin materials, parts mostly for the machinery. In other words, common usage parts that we would buy from supply and stock these bins with them, and we'd do a control setup for them with index cards that were listed by part number, name of nomenclature, and actual stock number, and the high and low stocking levels, and what bin they were in, and how many were in there. And we filed those in part number order in the supply room. Well, this took months to achieve. We did most of it during an Indian Ocean deployment, which was a 3-month-long deployment in 1977, 77, 78. It was difficult to get this going because the people of the division were unaccustomed to having such a thing. And some of the petty officers were fairly undisciplined, and they felt their authority, like anybody junior in military rank to them, had better do what they told them. So, especially this one arresting your first-class petty officer, he would go in the supply room, grab what he wanted, and just leave without telling anybody what he took, or without documenting anything, without changing the inventory cards. You know, you can't do that and maintain control and maintain a minimum stocking level of stuff. You just can't do it. So I told him, I said, look, you can have any part that you need out of that storeroom, but I don't want you to personally go in there and grab something and leave with it without it being documented. And that's what you've been doing. Stop it. Well, I can go, I said, you need something, tell the supply man. There's going to be somebody here 24/7. I've got 2 full-time supply men. One of them will be on duty all the time. And we've got this first-class petty officer works in the maintenance office. He's very adept at the supply. And me. We didn't have a maintenance chief. You need something, you simply tell one of us. You don't go in there and grab stuff and leave. Bullshit, I can do whatever. I know, no, you can't. Well, if I tell one of those supply men, let me in there, he damn well better. I said, he damn well better not. Because I'm ordering you to stay out of there. You do not have authority to go inside that room. Ever. Period. Do you understand that? Unless you're escorted by one of us. And then you don't grab something out of a bin and leave with it. We will maintain a good inventory. We will maintain control of the parts we have there. Only by doing that can we best support this division and its maintenance needs. Is that clear? Well, he didn't like it. And I also had to go so far as to put him on report for disobeying a direct order of mine if he went in there without being personally escorted. Well, he huffed and puffed, but he went back to the rescue. He didn't want to support it and so forth. Well, both won't let me have parts I need. Well, that's bullshit. I would. Any part he needed was available for it. Well, it took him months to finally come around. And one of the reasons for his attitude was the catapult chief, alcoholic chief that I've talked about so much, didn't support me or anything I did or us having a good supply setup. He didn't support that either. Because he didn't support it and he badmouthed me to those first class and anyone else that listened, that affected their attitudes. It took a great deal of effort to overcome that. We had got the supply set up going and it was running smoothly. And one night I went to mid-rats down in the wardroom, and the supply boss, commander, department head of the supply department, and two of his officers were sitting down there complaining about the dismal state of all of the division's supply setups. And I come on my squared away. He said, "Bull, ain't none of the divisional supply setup squared away." I said, "Well, mine is. You know, I invite you to come inspect it anytime you please." He said, "Right now," like in a threatening manner. "Come on." So we went up there, him and those other two supply officers, and they inspected my supply room. And he come in and said, "Bosun, you've got the most squared away divisional supply setup that I have ever seen anywhere." And he used mine as an example for other divisions on the ship for how to set up a supply system and work it. The key is you have to be involved, you have to have rules, and you have to enforce those rules. It worked. I had the best division level supply setup that this career supply officer had ever seen in his career. And he told me that. I'm proud of that. Y'all carry on.